Welcome everyone to the sixth round of the FIDE Candidates 2026. On your screen is Vaishali, who's coming into the tournament with her mother Naga Lakshmi. This has been something that we are seeing in the women's section, that all the girls are coming in with their mothers. Divya comes with her mother, so does Goryachkina, and there we had Kateryna Lagno entering in. The players are ready. Lagno is on 3 points. She is one of the leaders of the tournament. And Vaishali is on 2 points. She hasn't had a win yet. So she's looking for her first win. Pawn to e4 by Kateryna. And Vaishali goes e5. We go knight. Ooh, not knight f3. Bishop c4. Interesting move order that Lagno has chosen. Knight to f6. Attacks the pawn on e4. And knight to c3. Now there's a very interesting line here, which is knight e4, and d5. But instead, Vaishali simply goes knight to c6. Pawn to d3 played. I think one of the things that Kateryna might want to be doing is just play simple chess against Vaishali, because she is an aggressive player. But the same can be said about Kateryna as well. She likes to play crazy chess. So I think even if they play a simple opening like this, which is e4, e5, and all four knights have come out on their initial best squares, game will sharpen up. Castles. And now that the knight is not pinned here, taking the knight does make sense. Bishop takes c3. B takes c3. A natural question to ask is, how can black play such a position where you're giving up the double bishops? I think it has a lot to do with the fact that the position is closed, and black will try to trade one of the bishops with d6, bishop e6. So there is an imbalance here already. h3 played here. And now Vaishali can get back her bishop actually with knight a5. A nice move, attacking the bishop on c4. And this is, by the way, Vaishali's preparation. She's at 130 still. Bishop to b3. And now knight takes b3. Can be taken. She plays pawn to c5. Maybe an outside idea to just play c4 and triple up the pawns if possible. White goes c4, which means the bishop is a bit misplaced here on b3. Clearly halted by the pawns. And Vaishali is going for the f5 break. Kateryna plays c3. She wants to get bishop c2 and maybe pawn to d4. f5, you take, e takes f5. And now bishop takes on f5. And we have pawn to d4. So take. Pawn comes up ahead to e4, and knight h2 played here. b6. Now this pawn on e4 can both be a strength and a weakness, and Kateryna is trying to kind of play around the black king. Queen f6, pressure down to the f2 point. Bishop e3 defends it. Now c4 is definitely a small weakness. Rook e8. Vaishali is getting her pieces to defend the pawn in the center. Maybe knight f1, knight g3 is an idea. Rook goes to d1. Players are playing quickly here, although Kateryna is down to 19 minutes on the clock. Now bishop e6, pressurizing the c4 point, forcing the moves d5 if that has to be played. She goes queen e2. Now this is a passive move. Much better was maybe going forward with knight g4, or even to take on c5, but queen e2 defending the pawn. And now Vaishali can go maybe just queen f7. I mean, you can try to go queen g6, queen f7, threatening bishop h3, but queen f7 attacking the pawn on c4. d5 played, attacking the bishop now, and bishop c8 to a6. You can maneuver the bishop on this diagonal. Vaishali's pieces have definitely found better homes. Ooh, bishop a4 attacking the rook here. The rook comes up to e7. Time wise, Vaishali is doing well. Kateryna's position isn't that great, but knight f1, she wants to go to g3. And we have h5, just planning to push h4 next. Knight goes to d2. And queen f6, this is not particularly a great idea to give up this pawn on h5 in return for the pawn on c3, and Kateryna should take it. But instead she goes rook to c1, defending the pawn on c3. And now queen to h4. You play your queen to h4. The bishop comes to c2. And bishop to f5, defending the pawn. And a mistake. The knight going offside is not a good idea. Maybe keeping things here was better. Knight b3. And now you can almost sack here, I feel. Bishop takes h3. Vaishali comes back knight b7. Maybe not the best move, as Kateryna can come back knight d2 and her position could get safer. I mean, just to show you, bishop h3, gh3 and knight g5 would have been very strong. Knight b7, she goes bishop d1, g6 played by Vaishali, defending the h5 pawn, and a4. Let's see how this game continues. Rook f7 is an idea to put pressure on f2. She goes rook e5. Very interesting. And now queen to d2. And black can now sacrifice on h3 this time. This is getting very, very good for black. And she does it. Bishop h3. If g takes h3, then just simply here knight g5 coming in with bishop g5, rook g5. So bishop h6 is what Lagno plays. Rook f7. And now both players down to 2 minutes. So mistakes can happen. Rook e3 played. She didn't take the bishop. But now with rook e3, the bishop can move backwards to g4. And Vaishali is totally winning with an extra pawn and a dominant position. Bishop c2. And bishop f3. Beautiful move, by the way. Because sacrificing a piece to open up the white king takes and take on f3. ef3 is correct now. And she does it. Threatening a check and maybe a mate coming in. She plays queen d3 with the idea of taking on g6. But Vaishali blunders. She goes rook f5. There was a very nice win which we will show you at the end of the game maybe. Or maybe can show you here, like rook e3 was a winning move. So if you take, there's a mate here. But she goes rook f5. And now rook takes f3. Knight comes to g5. The knight is now hanging takes. Rook g5. And now just simply rook to g3. Blocking the check, and it's Kateryna who's winning here. But Vaishali has a very nice trap. Queen h3. Her idea is to play h4. And Kateryna blunders with queen f1. A huge mistake. She should have played something differently. Queen f3 to g2 was a better defense. But queen f1. And now Vaishali can simply win with rook takes g3. She does it. She finds it. Rook takes rook. Pawn takes. And although it feels like this should not be enough material to win, and also the rook on c1 is defended, so there are no double attacks, there is a very neat way to win here now. Queen check. If king f1, there is rook f5 check. King h2. And rook to g5. Very powerful move here. Attacking the queen. And queen h3. And queen f4 check now. So the two major pieces are almost going to checkmate Kateryna here, king h1. And this is really the style of Vaishali. She understands these dynamics so well. She's pretty sure she doesn't have to rush into a mate. Uh, this is winning check, even allowing her opponent to give a check here. King g7, and now another check could come, but after king h6 there are no more checks. So check. And now bishop e4, trying to stop queen f3 to g2 mate. There's no queen h4, but look at this beautiful move, rook g5, blocking this path. So there's queen h4 mate, and now Kateryna goes bishop g2, but this is lost because of queen h4 check. And after king g1 you have rook takes g2, and the queen is hanging on e7. That would be a nice discovered check, and I think Kateryna has to resign here. Vaishali scores a very nice win, a handshake, and her first win in this tournament for Vaishali. She moves to 3 points out of 6 and in joint second position. There was a beautiful moment in this game from tactical perspective, which I would like to show it to all of you as to what happened and what the players missed. So let's go to the board and understand those intricacies. So let's just understand this position in depth. In this position, Vaishali played bishop f3, pawn takes, and now Kateryna played queen d3. I think a nice move, threatening this. The winning move was rook e3. Now, if you take the pawn, it's already a mate after queen g3, king here, queen g2, king e1 and f2. It'll end the game. So the right move is of course to take, and I think after king h8 and fe3, Vaishali maybe couldn't find a finishing blow here with the little time she had, because f2 would be met with king g2. It's not over. There are no checks on the g file, and black is a piece down. But the move is knight f6, and this is, I think, what was missed by Vaishali. Otherwise she would have played this, and after rook f1, knight g4, this is simply winning here. You lose your queen because of the deadly discovered here. So it was important to take, but Vaishali played rook f5, and this allowed the defense, and now white is winning, queen h3. And now there were two ways to, I think essentially 3 ways to win. One was this very nice idea, queen f3, h4 and queen g2, and it's totally winning actually for white. The other option was that instead of queen h3, instead of queen f3, you could go knight d2, and if h4, you now go queen f1, take with the knight, hg3 and play f4. That's also a nice defense actually, and white wins. So these were few ways in which Kateryna could have won, but she rushed into queen f1, and you can see like she had 2 minutes here. She played it a bit too quickly, and it looks like a safeguarding move, but after takes, I think she underestimated the fact that she is completely lost here. With check, and even though Vaishali didn't finish it with checks, this is just game over. So this is how I think were the tactics, and a very nice win by Vaishali in her trademark style. Let's hear her interview.
Hello Vaishali, congratulations for your victory, beating Kateryna, who was actually into lead. How do you feel about the game?
Yeah, I'm very happy that I won the game. It was very complicated. At some point I just blundered this f3 pawn. In time trouble, I did not see a way to finish off, and I was incredibly lucky towards the end.
Yeah, that was a bit later, but earlier, like, how did you assess the double bishop which she had against your minor pieces which you went into? So can you elaborate on that?
I kind of knew till this knight h7 f5 plan, and then I was just trying to play on the board. I was basically playing against the light square bishop. I was just playing against this light square bishop on b3. It's bad, and trying to play the logical moves. Also, the center is closed. I tried to make her play d5, like force d5, and after that I felt like my pieces, the attack is going to flow on the king side.
So when you had already got the pawn to e4 after f5 and later, that time what was your assessment? Were you thinking you were better or was it complicated?
It's just about equal, playable for both sides. Yeah, it should be just about equal.
And yesterday after the loss, today you recovered and you bounced back. How were you able to do that?
Yesterday's game, it was very interesting game. I played this Italian h6, g6, and earlier I thought I missed something. I was very upset after the game, but then when I checked, I just realized I got outplayed. I didn't get any chance. I was just worse throughout the game, which I didn't realize actually. And then I said, it's just that she played well. I didn't just get any chance, so I just settled with that and tried to focus on the game today.
Wow, amazing. And you're entering with your mom every day over here. You're in a very serious mood. It's also very last moment. I do worry you will get fined.
Yeah.
So can you talk about that?
No, today I made sure that I'm a couple of minutes early to the game. And also Prag was surprised I came earlier than him because usually he's the one arriving. And the remaining games I make sure that I'm few minutes early. Yeah.
And how was your rest day in general?
It was good. We didn't do anything much. I rested and slept a lot. Of course, prepared. And we played some table tennis and then went for long walks. And it was nice.
And are you following Sundaro's games over here? What do you think of his performance?
Yeah, it's incredible. I don't know, he won today also. I didn't get to see the full game, but the play has been super amazing, and it's nice to witness it also, live. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Vaishali, for talking to us. All the best.
Thank you.